All right, so today we're talking about what happens in any client interaction. What are the key 4 steps that you need to make sure that you have ready to go so that you can optimize that conversation?
So in any client interaction, there are 4 things that you're thinking about, right? So first of all, who's my audience? You might anticipate you've got an audience, and as Kaylin mentioned, sometimes there are some surprise, guests that you're not aware of in the audience. We try and control for that as much as we can, but it doesn't always work. So, am I talking to the right level of seniority for the goal for this call? That's one of the most important pieces that when you're talking about call prep. When you're thinking about what your goal is going into an interaction, making sure that the people that you do see on that call are the right sorts of folks. Um, the agenda itself. So, not the bullet pointed agenda of these are the 3 things that we're going to cover, but how do we align on a mutually agreeable agenda? I think it's amazing that you can get a client to talk to you every month. I can say that as a buyer and principal point of contact for some of the solutions that I've purchased, often I don't feel the need to have that. And so, one of the things that you might want to think about is, can we craft an agenda together? It's kind of like that's not, by the way, saying that you should do fewer calls with your customers at all. I'm not saying that at all. But, um, having mutual understanding about how you use the time, however often that's happening, right? And so that you're both getting as much out of it as possible. Because what you don't want is for that person to say, oh, yeah, every time when I meet with Philip, it's like the same agenda. I probably don't need to meet with him this month. And then 1 month turns into a couple of months, right? And so you'd rather have some sort of conversation around what the mutually agreeable agenda is so that they show up, they're engaged, and they're getting value. And then the engagement itself, right? So it should really feel more like a conversation. That's hard in a group meeting. So we can talk a little bit about that too when you have multiple people on a conversation. How do you keep them engaged? But every commercial conversation, even if it's not commercially oriented, should have an underlying commercial intent. And what I mean by that is if you have 12 touch points, let's say you're meeting every month with your point of contact, that's 12 touch points across the year. There should be some sort of commercial undercurrent underneath that as well that is helping you to understand where they are relative to getting the value they're anticipating, tracking towards renewal, potentially identifying opportunities for growth, sharing with us what's not working, right? And so I would say that every conversation, even if it has kind of an agenda around data or reporting or analytics, that you also should think about what is my commercial intent in here? What are the questions that I should be asking to see how we're tracking? So we never get that FedEx that comes out of the blue, right? We never want to lose a client, but we'd much rather lose a client that we are prepared to lose than somebody who kind of blindsided us, right? And then last but not least, the next steps. So the best way to keep a relationship going is just to have, alignment at the end of the conversation about where you're going to go from here. Is it going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, next quarter? But what are you going to do? Who should be in that conversation? And how do you get the most out of it together?
If you've made it all the way through to this part of the recording, you are either a sales pro, a sales enablement pro, or certainly on your way to being. For more tips and tricks like this, follow me on my LinkedIn page, or you can like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or both. Find me at Toying with This Idea. If you need coaching, whether it's for you as an individual or for your team, as well as things like training, tools, talk tracks, tech optimization, any of the things that are going to support your go-to-market effectiveness, you can also find me on LinkedIn or reach out to me via my website, Toying with This Idea. Get out there, go crush it, have fun.